It's hard to find cannibals here in the city of Rakai, but I will guarantee you, you can't fail to find a family that eats people here. Just to be sure, most human flesh eaters are a few miles from here, in places like Kabale, Kyakarugu, and other places nearby there, but the fact is, they're cannibals here.
No, why are you biting the stick? You eat everything here? Right?
If you are a visitor in Kibale, you have to be very careful just because if they see you over asking for directions or weird questions, it is easy to land on a wrong person that might want to have you for their dinner. These are one-family houses, a brother and a sister. They came from Busoga. The brother is a witch doctor, but they pretend to be Busoga, but they're Baganda people who are here to practice their cannibalism.
But then is Rakai safe for me if I buy land here? Can I stay here with you guys? Really? How about what I hear in Kampala? Everyone say, don't go to Rakai. Is that true? Huh? You guys are laughing in a weird way of like, oh, we know, but...
I'm not so sure too why that roofing fell in. Because they used to sleep in that house, but they suddenly left it. What is surprising is that cannibals cannot eat kids from the village. They really fear eating people from the village, maybe because they fear repercussions.
Hello, my name is Henry, and I'm on a mission. My mission is to travel the world, share different cultures, and connect with people to find integration among us. I believe color is just a pigment, but as humans we are all one, united by one shared mission, the mission to happiness. I embrace the philosophy of human survival. I create short films to teach about life and uncover answers to some of life's most difficult questions. This is Henry and Love Twitter.
On our journey today, I'm in Africa and this is Uganda. We're driving almost 500 kilometers to track the people that eat the people, commonly known as the cannibals. There's been a speculation that is it true that people in Africa really eat people? Is this practice still going on? We used to hear about the cannibals way back, maybe many years ago, but is it something that's still going on? So today with my crew, we're in Uganda and we want to figure out whether it's true that people still eat people. There's been stories, kind of like Kanye said, we're not sure if that is really true. So on this journey, we're going to be figuring out whether people eat people. We're going to be finding some skulls of people. I'm going to be asking the people when they ate those same people. I mean, we want to figure out whether it's true that cannibalism is still being practiced in Africa.
Cannibalism in Uganda, often exaggerated, has roots in ritual practices misunderstood by colonizers, who weaponize these narratives to justify domination.
I have only come here for 5 minutes. I have come as a president of the Republic of Uganda.
During Idi Amin's brutal regime, 1971 to 1979, unverified stories of his cannibalism amplified fear and reinforced his image of terror. Both colonial and Amin-era narratives exploited cannibalism to control and demonize, leaving Uganda's history shadowed by misunderstanding and fear. Today, I retrace the same roots in search of answers. Is cannibalism still practiced in Uganda? Our journey takes us to Rakai, a place shrouded in fear and mystery. However, we've already lost 5 contacts. No one dares accompany us. Rumors claim the last reported case of cannibalism happened just months ago. But we're here to uncover the truth, not tales.
This is the equator. In the tropics, so it passes right here, and I'm so surprised there's a building where actually it's kind of a restaurant. So if you're gonna have food around here, then you have to sit right in the middle of the equator. And so both sides, I don't know which side is which side, but they have the northeast side and the south, as you may see down here. And this is on the way to the route that takes you to the cannibals in Rakai. And these are some of the things that you're gonna bump on. Another thing is the Katonga River, which is a river that breaks from Lake Victoria to the western part of Uganda, and it's a river that is really very significant to the people, and these are kind of things that you're going to find around here. But there's speculations on the equator that if you stand right here and then you hold the egg in one way, it's not going to sink in the water. People have a lot of speculation, something that we're not going to do. If you want to try that out, then you have to pay a lot of money for it.
Actually, there has been various cases of cannibalism in history around the world, like the survival cases like the Donner Party to ritualistic practices among the Wari of Brazil. In Europe, human remains were once used as medicine, while in Papua New Guinea, consuming brain tissue led to the fatal Kuru disease. Even today, rare instances tied to crime or extreme rituals remind us of humanity's darkest corners, keeping the subject shrouded in mystery and fear. I guarantee if you search the internet, there is no one who has ever covered this story from the horse's mouth. Our endeavor is life-threatening. We are on God's mercy. On our way to Rakai, we bumped into someone who I think will give me better information about the place before we go there.
When I saw you back there, I said I should ask you, but though I'm doing the night dancer kind of story, and you don't want to open up about the Rakai, but everybody knows about Rakai. Even in the US, I've been saying it's Rakai. Rakai is kind of scary. Have you heard any story about Rakai? You're scared, so you think they're going to come for you and eat you from here, right? You know, everybody here is scared. Even my crew is scared.
And this, this is not. It was divided. This is Chotera. Now, the other part of Rakai. We got to know that we are in Chotera, so that information we deleted it from our minds.
But is it true that really people eat, or is just stories people are putting up?
Because when they said that they eat, obviously they.
Can you walk in Rakai at night yourself?
Me, I can.
At night?
Yes.
In Rakai?
Yes.
And nobody's gonna take that head of yours, or you think your meat is not fresh?
It depends. For me, they told me that the little information I have, they told me that those people who eat people, they eat those ones that are less concerned about the village. Let's assume.
So you live in Chotera. Yeah. How can you be concerned about Rakai? I mean,
since it was one district, we have some relatives there, and we go there.
So you have a relative in Rakai. So do you go there sometimes?
Of course.
Is it safe? Do you spend a night in Rakai?
Obviously, I spend since there are people who know me. So I know the chairman. When you go there, when you are a visitor, and they get to know that they don't know you, they obviously
plan something. I mean, your head will be on the plate.
Exactly.
You've been at tomorrow's barbecue.
So therefore, when you visit Rakai, you should be very vigilant with the people you are dealing with.
I thought during day is okay, but at night would it be scary to go there at night? Everybody's scared about going there at night.
It's not about tonight. Even day they can eat you.
Are you for real? You guys are making up stories, man. I don't believe this. You know, I'm so strong. Like, I feel like I need to go there anytime.
They find out that you are a foreigner.
So I put off my glasses. This is one way of telling that I'm a foreigner with my glasses on, right?
When they find out that you are a foreigner, they can't even eat you during the day. Because they have no reason why they don't eat you.
You know, somebody said that they have hotels, like there's some secret hotels where they serve this kind of meat that other people are not going to know about. Is that true?
So true.
So these hotels sell the human flesh, but then nobody knows about it. It's kind of something that's secret, right?
Some people know, but they keep quiet.
They keep quiet about it. Then if they're proud of their practice, why would they be quiet? You're a Muslim, be a Muslim. Then you're a cannibal, be a cannibal, you know?
Maybe they just want to present
there's kind of secrets and traditions.
Even
right?
though I got some chills from what he tried to explain, there was no way of turning back. We were already far from capital Kampala. Rakai has no hotels. The only place we could sleep is in Mbarara city, which is actually about 120 to 200 kilometers from Rakai. We got to meet one contact that accepted to take us to the village where they eat people.
Stay here. They don't have a hotel here. I don't know whether it's just a bait, like you just get to go to somebody's home and then you scoop for the night. I don't know, but there's no hotel here. I tried to ask them the hotel. They say it's there. They pointed out in the town, but then the town we see around here, you don't see something like a hotel. So it's not safe. So we're gonna keep inside. Let me see if I can talk to anybody.
Just imagine getting stuck in this place. You will have nowhere to run. The village is filled with a lot of banana plantations. Even though you got cellular service here, it will take hours, if not a day, for the police to reach you. My advice is, don't dare try this adventure if you are not ready to endure the risks. After interacting with some few villagers while we kept in our car, we reached our contact who actually bailed out on us and decided to recommend another guy we knew nothing about. But I'm certain we were being followed.
We should better go. That guy. That's the guy in the red jacket that we saw back there. That's a guy who looks like he eats, right? Huh? Is another guy? That one was different. Maybe the red color is their kind of trademark. All right. He was following us. Maybe he's gonna tell the people that, see the way he's riding? That's how he's riding, right? Is he gonna tell the people? The water? How would you know they use the water? Do you live here?
stories, right? So the thing is, you know, like if these people begin chasing you, say they just pounce on you, right? Then I think when they puncture your tire, there's no way you're going to survive. Are they ladies or men? How did these ladies survive here? Huh? To get you.
For a better story, you need to watch part 1 of this story on my page. But after driving around the village and our guide trying to take us to a place we had no idea about, I decided to call off that mission and instead sit down with him in a one-on-one interview.
So what's your name?
My name is Kalanz Tony.
Which place is this where we are right now?
This is Royal Park's garden. It is found in Rakai district.
From where I came from, everybody was scaring me that don't go to Rakai, it's a scary place, they eat people there. Am I safe? That it's now actually it's dark.
Yes, sure, anybody can scare you. That is because maybe they might be warning you of some danger. But for us who live on this village, we know everything.
Is it true? Is it true that in Rakai people eat people?
The people who eat others are not in this place, but they could be in some villages around. Villages like Kibali, Kayakalugu, and the surrounding areas you might not be aware of. But the fact is, this place has many cannibals.
Do you know of any stories where people have eaten people in Rakai?
The story I know well happened in Kyakilugu. One evening, around 8:30 p.m., a man and his wife were walking home. It had gotten late, and they didn't realize there was a town ahead on the path they were taking. They were in Kyakilugu, heading to Kibali, unaware of what lay ahead. While walking in the dark, they came across a man and asked him if he knew where the village chairman's home was. They explained that it was too late to continue their journey and that they needed a place to stay for the night. The man seemed kind and directed them to a house 3 doors ahead, saying it was the chairman's home. What they didn't know was that the man had already contacted a criminal accomplice, informing him that he had sent some strangers to his house. He instructed the accomplice to pretend to be the village chairman if asked. When the couple arrived, the criminal welcomed them, offered them dinner, and gave them a place to sleep. As the night wore on, the husband grew uneasy. He heard whispers outside and, sensing danger, woke his wife and urged her to escape with him. As they fled, the cannibals heard them and began chasing them. Unfamiliar with the area, the couple ran into a banana plantation. The wife, unable to run fast enough, was caught. The husband, carrying their young child, realized the child was slowing him down and making noise. In a desperate bid to save his own life, he made the heart-wrenching decision to let the child go. The cannibals captured both the wife and the child, but failed to find the husband, who had climbed a tree to hide. At dawn, the man remained in the tree until it was safe to come down. The following day, he reported the incident to the police. As is often the case in such situations, the local community took matters into their own hands. Angry residents stormed the village, destroying everything the accused family owned.
How old was the child?
The child was very young, but some reports claim the woman was pregnant too at the time. They were driven out of Kyakilugu, their homes and possessions left in ruins. The man witnessed the gruesome mutilation of his wife and children down the hill until dawn. It was a painfully traumatic experience for him. Groups gathered to collect their bounty on motorbikes and drove away once everything was done. This horrifying event occurred about 2 years ago.
The thing is fresh. People still eat people in Rakai.
I wanted to check the clarity of his story, and actually this is the story he was referring to.
They hid the hair here.
A man in Rakai district says his 21-year-old wife, unborn baby, and 9-year-old child were recently murdered by members of a family who had given them shelter for a night. The distraught man says their hosts extracted the organs of his family members, cooked, and ate them.
He came with police and showed them the house of crime, saying they had eaten his family.
He ate my wife, my child, and an unborn baby.
There is no way we can completely eliminate cannibals from our society because there are so many of them. Even here in Rakai, there might be cannibals, but it is very difficult to identify someone and accuse them of eating people. Despite this, rumors often circulate about which families are involved in cannibalism.
I walk at night here, and I just because they told me if you're a stranger, you should not walk outside, right? If I walk outside right now as a stranger, we go down where we came from, near that area that you showed me. Would I be safe?
You are only safe here in town, only if you don't go outside this place. But even though that is the case, cannibals are so many here, so I think you won't trust anybody here. There's so many.
If I go down where we came from outside, could it be that 80% of all the people in Rakai have tasted some human flesh? Because then, if someone eats someone, there might be restaurants of people who eat people, and then you eat from the same plate. Don't you think that is possible?
There are no such restaurants here, but the family that ate the woman and a child owned a restaurant in Kalasizo.
If those people had a restaurant, that means others who eat also have restaurants. What do you think about that?
Yes, they had a normal restaurant. But even if you went there, they couldn't sell the human meat to anyone. That meat is so special in that it is for only the cannibals. They sell all kinds of meat plus the human meat.
The possibility is that there's something in the food, right?
There is nothing to speculate about it. The moment a cannibal enters that restaurant, the restaurant owner can easily recognize him. So even if the customer doesn't utter a word, their meal will be served.
So there's no need to ask, give me what I need, give me some beef soup or something like that. They already know each other, right?
They well know each other. It is like a team, so they can't serve such meat to a normal person.
So if you go to the same restaurant and you order the chicken is going to be served to you on the same plate that was served on the human flesh.
They wash them, but that doesn't stop them from putting your order on it.
So, are you safe? Have you ever tasted or not?
I wouldn't lie to you. I think we have all tasted human flesh here at some point. That might have been out of ignorance. Personally, I might have eaten someone, but it could have been unintentional.
Okay. My second question is very simple. There are these foreigners who come here because they come to trade shoes, things like that. I heard of a story of somebody who was eaten just 2 months ago. He came hawking shoes, and then the friends left him, and then somebody ate him. Do you know about that story?
There are some Maasai hawkers who walk through this village selling shoes. Just about 2 months ago, while one of them was walking in some of the dangerous areas here, he was grabbed and eaten. However, whoever ate the Maasai didn't fare well. Their bodies swelled, and they ended up in a hospital in Masaka. In fact, many died as a result of tasting the Maasai meat.
So that means there's some people who are dangerous. You never eat a Maasai flesh, but you can eat any other tribe flesh.
You're right. There are countless speculations about the Maasai tribe and the power of their charms. It's said their long, cut, folded ears often carry these charms, believed to hold immense power. When they ate him, it didn't end well for anyone involved. Those who consumed the Maasai developed strange, fatal illnesses that took their lives. You could call it bad luck or something more. Tragically, one of the boys from the family that ate the Maasai was captured by a mob, tied up, and burned alive. Yes, their hands and stomachs became severely swollen, but the doctors couldn't identify the disease. In the end, everyone who ate the Maasai succumbed to it.
So the thing is, what's your job?
I'm a motorbike rider.
If I'm a passenger in Rakai right now, and it's 1 a.m., and I'm asking you to take me to Kibale, right? And wait for me to go to my house, get something, and then you drive me back. Can you do that job?
If you come this time, I can take you. But when you come late, like 9 p.m.
Like 1 a.m. My question is, your job, I come pick you up, it's 1 a.m. midnight. Okay, let's say midnight, right? I ask you to take me to my house, wait for me, and then we come back together. Can you do that job?
Sometimes, you might come as a passenger, but out of the love for money, I may agree to take you, not knowing you could be dangerous. The customer might not be a thief, but a cannibal. As we go deeper into the journey, you might attempt to harm me. You know, cannibals don't need hammers to kill. They often use sedation medicine. They even have the ability to puncture your tire, or cause your vehicle to break down automatically.
As a boda rider, you fear two things. I mean, you fear the cannibals that they might eat you in that kind of business, and then you fear the thieves who might steal your bike.
As a boda rider, I sometimes fear both the passenger and the return trip from where I've been taken. When it gets late, we often ask our friends to escort us and share the fare. By doing so, I feel safer and more protected.
Okay, I have like 3 more last questions. One question is, why do people eat people? What motivates them to eat the people?
What drives people to eat others is being possessed by a spirit. Someone might be walking peacefully, but when they see you, a sudden idea overtakes them. They feel an uncontrollable urge to eat you. It's as if they're possessed, losing all reason and behaving like a mad person. It's similar to an epilepsy patient who experiences an attack without warning and later regains their senses. The same thing happens to cannibals during their moments of possession.
If you go to a bar, actually the cannibal, if someone is a cannibal, they get that kind of spirit and they keep licking you like a dog is licking somebody. Is that true?
A cannibal could even be your friend. You might go to a bar together and suddenly they become possessed. They could grab you, lick you, and then, upon realizing you're their friend, snap out of it and let you go. Similarly, you could be walking home together when the same thing happens. As they grab you, something might remind them that you know each other and they hesitate. However, you might notice something strange about them the next morning. That's how they leave you alone.
Have you ever experienced this kind of thing yourself?
Personally, I've never experienced such a thing, but there was one time I was riding my bike in the dark and the lights suddenly went off. Cannibals are believed to have a lot of magic. They can transform into cats or dogs. You could be walking and see a person, but then, in an instant, that person vanishes, and suddenly, there's a cat or a dog nearby.
Then you see a snake, Those are the cannibals. They keep turning into other things, right?
They're said to have the ability to become anything.
So if you meet a cat riding your bike at night...
In Rakai, our rule is simple. Never take in a stray cat or dog, because you might end up bringing home something that could turn you into one of them.
Buying land and living in Rakai is a kind of a scary thing. Is that true?
What is hindering development in Rakai is that most residents are either family or relatives. They occupy family land and marry within the same bloodlines. This practice has prevented the area from progressing and is a key factor contributing to the high crime rate. People here believe that allowing outsiders to settle would negatively affect their way of life, and they fear being reported to the authorities for their actions.
Can you marry a girl from Rakai for marriage and starting a family here? Can you marry any girl from Rakai? Maybe from Kibale area.
You might marry a girl from this area and take her home, but at night, she might use sedation to make you sleep. While you're unconscious, she could travel, say from Kampala back to Rakai, to engage in harmful practices. You see, they can possess spiritual powers as well. She could leave at 3 a.m., do whatever she needs to in Rakai, and return home. Trust me, you'd never know she left the house the night before.
So that means people in marriages in Rakai, but they don't know their partners are cannibals.
Yes, that's so true.
This is a freaking thing. Okay, final thing, two final things. One, which kind of advice would you give me as a first timer in Rakai? I need to drive my car to get back home. Am I safe to drive back home, or I should get a place to stay here?
You can spend a night where we are because it's safe. But I wouldn't recommend staying the night in Kibale, Kyakilugu, or Kibona. Doing so would mean walking into real danger.
Even driving a car is not safe.
Imagine driving at night and suddenly your car gets a puncture. You might wonder why, but there's often a hidden force behind it. Someone might have used their power to cause the puncture, leaving you stranded. When that happens, someone may appear, acting as if they want to help. If they know you, they might assist you in getting a mechanic.
You'll be the guy who's going to lose their life.
But if they don't, the next thing you could lose is your life.
That's it. Final question. Whenever I travel, I ask people whether they are happy. Are you happy? And what makes you happy? What makes you happy?
Yes, I am happy. I'm happy because I've had the chance to find you and share our life here with you. The truth is, in Koki, there are many cannibals around us.
Can you know somebody who eats someone if you see them with your eyes? You know that one. Can you tell that one is a cannibal?
Although we can't point fingers directly, they are everywhere. I do know who they are. There are so many, and I can usually tell when I see them.
It's kind of scary. Guys, we gotta go. That's the end of the video. Thank you. I'm so glad. That was a good interview. Okay, I came to Rakai with a question whether people eat people, whether cannibals are for real. You've heard from the gentleman, cannibals are for real. And any advice I'll give anybody out there, if you're planning to come to Rakai, you gotta be very careful. We need to drive at night. He has told us that we might lose gas in the car and then somebody comes to help us and then they eat us. We're going to see some place where there was a family that was caught or arrested by police for eating people, and then we actually couldn't go there because we were so scared. All right, so if you're planning to come to Rakai, it's up to you if you're going to come to lose your life, but I would not advise anybody to come to Rakai. You better keep off Rakai if you're coming to tour this place. Well, there's places like this town here, there's a pool down here. This is something that is actually organized for the people. But then stepping out 1 kilometer away from here, there are houses I've made where actually they have pointed out people who eat people in Rakai. I think it's not a good idea for you to come to Rakai. That's the end of our story today. Until the next story, catch you later.
We deeply want to appreciate you for being part of our channel. Your likes and comments mean a lot to us. Just in case you have a story you want us to cover or a place you would recommend us to visit, please leave a comment below. We have you in our mind when covering these stories. Let's meet again in the next video.
Just us two, I'll follow you to somewhere new, somewhere new.
This is a rain and not water.